Donald Trump, the king of deception. Should we call him the Satan himself? Because he's too good in deceiving people. And he knew very well that the Islamic regime of Iran are very good deceivers. They are good in giving wrong information but end up doing something different. And Trump knew very well, if I want to beat these people, I have to play their game and I have to be smart than anyone else. So the calling of what people call negotiations on denuclearization, or maybe disarming the Islamic regime of Iran from wherever nuclear, wherever they had, was just all a lie. Trump and his group had already decided on what they really want to do in Iran. And there was nothing that could have stopped them from achieving whatever objectives they had in Iran. Iran poses as a danger within the Middle East, a danger to development, a danger to expansion of developmental projects that the New World Order suggests that should be happening. So the best way to do away with that, we have to make a good deal with them. And the best way to fool them that we are going for this is let us call for a negotiation. But as we call for a negotiation, our team, our elite teams are on the ground doing their job in a meticulous way, trying to understand what is where and when, and what deserves to get where and when and how, and who is going to do that. So they are getting it very closely and very specific information and the coordinates of whatever they are looking for. They are getting themselves inside, they are getting spies inside the Islamic regimes, wherever parliament or government. They're getting insiders and they're buying people in, buying the loyalty of those people so that they can use them later for whatever bigger action that they want to do. Trump could speak in a very funny way, the way he speaks with a lot of sarcasm on Truth Social. Asked questions, the journalist says he gives them whatever they want to hear, but not the reality on the ground. That is President Donald Trump. That's why I'm calling him a chief deceiver. And after that, while still negotiations are going on, they landed in, and on the first strike, they killed over 48 leaders, Islamic regime's leaders, including the Ayatollah himself, Ali Khamenei, and his family, some part of his family. Slightly, is it miraculously would say that, saving the life of Mujtaba Khamenei, whose whereabouts are still not yet known up to now, whether he's in good health or not, whether he's deceased, we don't know. No one knows about that. But that is not what is important, what we're talking about here today. That one has been talked and talked about with very many people for so long time, for a very long time, and it's gone. So we don't want to base ourselves onto that much. So the talks have been going. And the last slap on face, not really the last slap on face, the another slap on face was when Trump said that he's giving these guys 5 days. He had given them 5 days for ceasefire, for a negotiation. And then he came again and said, I'm giving you more 5 days for ceasefire and renegotiation. And he has commanded the US naval forces and US military not to strike anything in Iran. And he has also commanded the Israeli military not to strike anything in Iran, not to conduct any military strikes in Iran. But they did get it to 48 hours. Even before 24 hours, Iran, the Islamic regime of Iran, was suffering casualties and destruction of the highest multitude or altitude, wherever that is, to their infrastructures. Hag Island, that was a bone of contention between whether he will go or not, was already being destroyed. Any military installation on Hag Island was being destroyed. He said, no, there's no, no, there's no any US soldier or Israeli soldier who would step a foot on Iran. But that was all a lie. I told you earlier, that was all a lie because they were already on the ground. As he's telling you that they are coming, they were not coming. They were already on Hag Island. They were already deep in Iran. They were coordinating the strikes and making sure that things are getting as it is planned. So the plans were very well planned, and they were meeting the objectives. As Trump said, we are winning this war. Most journalists and most media stations went down. Now, why are you winning the war and you're continuing to strike? That is not what Trump meant. Trump meant that you're winning the war because he knows that everything is on the table and he has managed to get whatever he wants. And all the strategic places are well coordinated and their eyes are there. Not just the eyes in the air, but eyes in the air plus the eyes on the ground. The power in the air plus the power on the ground. He knows he has his best men and women on the ground who are doing the best job ever, and they cannot let him down. So when he says we have won, he knows whatever he's talking about. But most of the people, you don't know what you're talking about. You're lying. But that is how he wanted to look like. As you think he's lying, to him he's actualizing everything that you guys think is lying. Whatever you think is impossible, it's just impossible to you because you're not there. But unto him, it's very much possible because he knows what's happening on the ground. And it has been no soldiers, no soldiers will come, no US soldiers will come. Then the Islamic regime of Iran says that 7 million plus people of Iran are waiting for you, are waiting for the US soldiers. Come and you live in caskets and all that. What they never knew is that the US soldiers were already in Iran. They were not waiting for anything. They were already there, and they're already there, and they're doing the work. They are finishing the work. So you're waiting for someone who's already there. That is why I'm saying that Trump becomes the most lethal person when it comes to military planning and planning for attacks. He becomes most an unreliable person that you can never look into when it comes to war, because he gives you wrong information when he does the other thing, the same thing that the RGC does. But this time they got someone who knows how to play their game better than them. And that is why he has been able, they've been able, him and Netanyahu, they have been able to destroy the leadership. Any leader who comes in, they are targeted because they already know who is coming next, and they already know where this person is going to hide. They already know what will be happening to them. It's so easy to do away with them, and it becomes an easy game. Let's play along. What a beautiful thing. Yeah, the Democrats, the Republicans, the Congress in the US are crying that this one cannot happen. There's no way going to happen. All that, all this, all this. They are coming up with those things, gathering people on the streets back in the US to protest against Donald Trump. How they are not going to win the war. But Donald Trump already knows that the war is already won because he knows what these guys don't know. As much as they are trying to do their side jobs, to try to sabotage his efforts on the ground to make things work the way they're supposed to work, he is already ahead of them. He's one step ahead of them. So their plans are thwarted and are not working, and they feel so much infuriated, but nothing they can do. Now they're calling for an impeachment. I don't think if that will be possible for Trump to be impeached anytime soon, whether in 2027 or 2026. He will run to the last day, because at the end of the day, the US population will appreciate Donald Trump for the good work he has done back in the Middle East. And the prices of oil that are above $100 now will go as low as $5, because there will be plenty for the Americans. He said he wants to make America great again. One thing he lied is, okay, to the years of Americans he lied. He will never send American soldiers back or involve Americans back in another war, unnecessary war. But this war that he's fighting is not unnecessary. This one is necessary for the welfare and for the growth of the United States. That is one thing that most politicians back in the US don't want to understand. But not that they don't understand, they know it very well. But what they are afraid of is they are feeling that, they feel that, or they are afraid, they are ashamed that the legacy that Trump will leave after all this, the legacy that Trump will leave will be much greater, will outlive him, because he would have made America the most safest place to live and the most prosperous nation on planet Earth. That is unless something else happens. But if they give him the chance and the opportunity to do it, this will be the greatest thing that America will ever enjoy, because America will be great again. America will be in control. She will be in control of most of the resources around, most of the natural resources around the world that will make it greater and better. Uh, in terms of economy and military prowess. We've seen Russia trying to do whatever they're doing in Ukraine, but they are not able to destroy Ukraine because the US is helping. So the US has more knowledge and whatever understanding that you need on the battleground than any other nation, though, and that is what Trump is trying to say. That is why every time he talks about the military, he says the most lethal military never ever seen on planet Earth, because he understands what he's trying to say. He's not sending it's not sending just fear onto the people, or it's not just sending like words without power, or how can I put all this? It's not just sending threats, but it's sending threats and sure of power that this is going to happen. So this guy is the greatest Satan that has ever lived. Yeah. Trump, the greatest Satan that has ever lived. I don't know what you think about what we've talked about, but this guy, even whatever he's trying to tell people now, don't believe him. He's doing the opposite of whatever he's saying. He's doing the opposite of whatever he's saying. You think the boots on the ground in Iran are not, it's something that he's planning? No, they're already there. He's not planning to take them. They're already there, and they're doing the work. Don't be surprised that the time that he's calling unto them, going that will be the time that these guys have already, planting the flags of victory in whatever places they're in. Because for me, I want to believe, and I'm convinced that they are there. It's not that he's planning to take them there, but they are already on the ground. Yeah, engage us in the comment section and tell us what you think about this. Do you think it's true that they are there or they're not there?